Episode 41. I think we made some excellent progress last day. Day 28. Well, excellent progress towards some achievements, by which I mean we got 2 of them. But the achievements aren't really what we're after, are they? I guess what we really want is the realm sigils, and the letters, and maybe other things related to lore, I don't know. Let's see if we can make some progress towards those today. But I'll have to try not to go over on time again. I turned what could have been 2 episodes into 1 extra long episode last time. I think the actual progress that we might have made towards lore, realm sigils, letters, and such mainly had to do with the cool items we got last time. Oh, and I guess we got some extra food, or extra steps from the sauna, rather. So first of all, we got that neat candle lighting thing, which let us unlock a bunch of things, but there's a bunch of other things that I'm sure I could have lit in, and in fact I'm sure I could have lit in because lighted, whatever. I'm sure I could have lit up other things, other candles, because I looked it up after the episode. I felt like losing that item immediately after that run where I got it, where it took me 40 episodes to even be able to craft it. I felt like I needed to speed up my own process here, so I swallowed the bullet or bit the whatever, and decided to look up all of the things that I could use those items for, but only that. So I looked up what I could use the candle lighting tool for, and the knock down walls with the hammer tool. Not really anything concrete other than how to get to those areas and where they are. But I'll probably start with those if I get any of those items back, just to make some progress. And I'm assuming it is progress towards the realm sigils, I hope. Also, in terms of progress, I guess we got the boon of the pawn or whatever, and we also know how that thing works, so we can change it to whatever boon we want anytime later, if we do the puzzle again. But mainly we just want the pawn right now to pick whatever we want if we get to rank 8. Which maybe changes our strategy a bit if we just want to beeline to rank 8, but might be a bit hard to do. Oh, and there's our ambition. Didn't know it would show up on the screen here. I think the last thing we got would have been, I guess, the first thing we're going to look at today. We got from Hartley's room, Rhoda Hartley Rhoda, whatever, an admin password. I think the only time that terminology came up was over here in Blackbridge. And it was also the only place where we could enter a password with lowercase letters, it seemed. So yeah. What I'd written down was the first 4 characters of, I guess, his last name, Ruoda, and then the first initial of his first name, Hartley. So that should let us log into here. Let me actually check my notes to make sure I got that right. Yeah. Admin is RUOTH, like route, except with an H, which is capital. Let's see. I guess already on, yeah, uppercase, so R, lowercase, U, oh, still have to make it lowercase every time, O, T, and H. I guess I should have gone the other way around, whatever. Okay. That admin key has been deactivated. No, that makes sense. God damn it. He's retired. That makes sense. Why would the retired guy still have the admin access? Well, unless we stumble upon another note that indicates where we can get some kind of admin key. I don't know. What about... What about Babbage? Isn't she like... She runs the tight ship, right? So, wouldn't it just be like the same format? Her name is Anne Babbage, right? Am I getting that wrong? Okay. It was one of those kinds of puzzles where you have to like intuit things based on patterns and lore and whatever, just like pure logic. Well, not pure logic, like reasonable logic. Really real, applied, real-world logic, I guess. We're hackers now. User database. Okay, yeah. It was Anne Babbage's. I'm glad I remembered names. Who's D. Rava? K. Tom. R. Moore. Oh, wait. Personal access? What does this mean? Plus 3 additional delisted admin keys. Wait, so what's the difference between admin access and personal access? Wait, do I not actually have... Oh, I don't have admin access. But I mean, all of the users are here, so can't I just use their names to log in? I don't remember who R. Moore is, or K. Tom. Thompson? Did we encounter a Thompson? Was that the guy that was sending us all of those letters from the lab or whatever? I don't remember everyone's name. It took me a while to remember Anne's name. Anne Babbage, the house manager. Calculated in 86, and she never really uses this account, does she? She calls the computer a glorified typewriter or something, right? Her last login was October 25th, 91. I guess that is recent, if I remember the approximate year this game takes place. And her most drafted room is the office. She works there, after all. Personnel notes, author of all personnel notes. Okay. Oh, so like the personnel notes that we find here. So she wrote this about herself. Great. Alright, what about Hartley? Yeah, I guess 93 makes sense. I think 93 is the year, so... Actually, it's been 2 years since Anne logged in. I guess that is a long time. But yeah, looks like Hartley last logged in several months before the game started, since we're in November, I think. Or maybe in December now, given how many days have passed. His most drafted room is the servants' quarters, where he lives, I guess, or lived. The Baron's valet for 20 years. Substituting for Mr. Moore until we find a suitable assistant admin. Moore. Wasn't that the person that sent the letter to Hartley, I think? Maybe? Rava D. Oh, the former groundskeeper. Right, the guy that got fired by Anne. And he drafted the greenhouse lot. Terminated March 1992 for suspicion of blackmail and not watering the plants. I guess the water was off in the greenhouse when we arrived. Well, they're on now. We're doing his job. He's also the one blackmailing us, right? The one that was sending stuff to our office? Or maybe that was an old note, like left over from when he was blackmailing someone else? Like blackmailing the actual old Baron. I'm forgetting his name, even though he's kind of the central character. The guy that died at the beginning of the game. How am I forgetting his name? What's our last name again? We're Simon P. Jones, and we're inheriting from... God. How can I forget this at this point? How could I remember Anne's name and not his? In fact, his name would make sense to go for next if we needed some kind of admin key. I didn't see his name on the list. Sinclair. Herbert S. Sinclair. But, his name didn't appear on the list, so is it even worth trying? I'm not sure. Anyway, I don't remember this name specifically being called out. But yeah, another guy that was fired. Well, this one was retired. Okay, so who's more then? I don't get the full name, but... Oh, was this the guy that was sending us letters in the mailroom, or were there two different guys? Well, this one's a rather old account. Most drafted room's a lab. Maybe Moore wrote the note in the lab, and this other guy was the one sending us letters. Notes say lead lab technician for Cinca set up estate terminals and Blackbridge network. And Dom K, the assistant lab technician, also drafts the lab. Recent transfer from Cinca, former executive assistant at HS Sinclair, trusted with full admin privileges. Okay, so let's try Moore R and Dom K. We're hacking. Erase. Oh, it seems like it saves the uppercase, lowercase of what you had last, so that's good. More. R. We're in. That one's pretty easy to remember. More R. So what does this do for us? It's just the same user database, right? And we've also got the admin logs. And 2086, more R. The last cables have finally been laid and the office terminal has been connected to the central network. Given the ever-changing nature of the rooms of the estate, we chose to install the server outside of the house to maintain connection stability at all times. Makes sense, I guess. Even if all of the house's drafting things, like the whole drafting system doesn't make sense, it just works. A small cavern off of the eastern drive, was selected for the server site. 12686. All remaining computer terminals on the estate are now connected to the network mainframe, and we will now begin testing remote access capabilities between them. I've also asked the Baron to come up with a name for the network, and he came up with Blackbridge, which is like a lore thing, right? Because of Orinda or something. And I think we saw something on like a postcard, a bridge or something. Was that like Orinda or Oris or whatever? I think I saw something like that. 130, same year. After some deliberation, our network has been named Blackbridge, a somewhat ominous name for the project, given the legend from which the term derives. Okay, a juicy legend, cool. Though very fitting considering we chose an actual cave to house the mainframe. I only hope that our servers do not suffer that same fate that befell those in the story. Well, I want to know the story now. Some months later, 7186. Regular maintenance report. Fix the connection error that was occurring between the office and security terminal. We have also added electronic mail capabilities to each terminal that can be accessed via the network. Yeah, we've seen all that. We haven't seen the connection error, I guess. Not really. Next year, 21087. Recording capabilities of all cameras on the estate have been disabled. Additionally, the existing video playback functionality on the security terminal has also been removed. We've seen some of this with the special password, the video of mom showing the subway map or something, which maybe like shows her location, or I don't know, it's something else maybe. Mostly deleted logs, I guess, from 87. Which is like in the future? No, wait. It's not deleted logs of the video that they're talking about here. It's deleted logs from More R that were a month after this last log, and like several deleted logs for several days. I think this period of time in 87, was that when Mom was at the house and when she did the robbery and disappeared too? And then 7/25/87, as requested yesterday, new admin key created. Though the requested name doesn't quite fit with our typical length formatting. Well, shit. Is that one of those 3 extra things? It must be. But those were all deactivated, right? Or did I read that wrong? So there's like a different name now that we could use here to get a different login? Perhaps 3 different names even? And then the following months, several days, deleted logs. And then 9/1/87, effective immediately, all electronic mail capabilities have been restricted. And now can only be accessed via the office terminal. Yep, we've seen that. All other terminal inboxes have been archived and can only be restored via admin control. Okay, we have that now. 120/89. Temporary access to the mainframe and Blackbridge Grotto has been restored to perform routine maintenance. 1490, the same note. Routine maintenance every year. 7/3/91. Updated access privileges for the following account types. Admin access, full access to all features. Personnel access, access to user database. Archive access. Full access, plus access to archived admin logs and deleted database entries. Okay. That's what we need then. That's probably what one of those other names gives us. 11/25/92, getting closer to the present year. RTA is down while we work on a solution to reported terminal connection failures. A few days later, 11/28/92, RTA is working again. They work fast, I guess. Well, I guess being down for a few days, that could be a nightmare if it was like, if you lost the internet for a few days, but this is not that. Terminal connections tested and confirmed functional. To make future testing easier, added ability to access offline terminals. Do the RTA when Blackbridge is open. So yeah, that's our unlock that we already had. Present year, I think. 129/93. Per request, 1 temporary admin key has been added to the network. The one that we got a note for and kind of kicked off our way into here in the first place, and maybe that could have been the only hint to get in here. Maybe there was another note telling you how to log in as any of these other names, but I can see a reality where that note is the only thing that keys you in, that hints you at how you break into the system with other names or start cracking things apart. It seems very hackery, doesn't it? Maybe even a bit social engineering-y, which I guess goes hand in hand with hacking. Anyway, 2/20/93, admin key deactivated, wrote us. Some months later, 6/22/93, 1 new admin key has been added to the network. Thompson, welcome to the team. The new hire, right? Oh, and here's Dom's logs. I was afraid I'd have to log in as Thompson again to see Thompson's logs, but it does seem like, yeah, there were no logs from Dom, only from Moore, just because Dom hadn't been added yet. Anyway, 8/1/93, added new data management features to Blackbridge admin control, updated user database. And 11/6/93, just a few... No, wait. Gotta check my camera again, or my photos, for that calendar. Is this the day before we arrived? Yeah, day 1, November 7th, and I think it was 93. Yeah, they do even mention Simon's arrival. This would have been just a couple of days after the Baron died. Again, they work fast. Changing of the guard, in preparation for Simon's arrival, inbound and outbound messages, as well as off-site connections from outside the estate, have been disabled per the instructions left by the Baron himself. We kind of knew some of that already. Well, we got the lore. So what's the functionality here, other than the hint that there's like... yeah, other admin keys, which are probably archive access. Well, actually, they're not expired, they're delisted, so they don't appear here in this list. I see. So they're still usable. I have to figure that out, I guess. Data files? Oh, import trophy data. Utilizing the Blackbridge system, you can import trophy data from other save files into the current profile. This is a convenient way to collect trophies in one file that might be impossible to get in a single profile. What a weird function to exist in the game, but I was wondering about this exact thing, so this is why it exists. Because there's a trophy for getting to room 46 on day 1, and in your first playthrough, which is probably your completionist playthrough if you were like a completionist or whatever, you would never be able to get the day 1 trophy unless you repeatedly restarted day 1 without actually trying to learn the game in a continuous save file. So yeah, you could just keep your original save file 1 or whatever. In this case, this save file that I'm in right now, start a new save file and just use that to try to get day 1, then import that trophy. Weird, but it works. Oh, and we're in bequest mode, I guess. I didn't realize. Okay. Duplicate save data, clear save data. We can't do any of this, but oh, can we? We can't do any of this. Why can't we? Because we don't have like an extra save data, or... I don't know. Well, not too important right now, I guess. Okay. I guess network settings would be the main functionality then. Terminal timeout settings, electronic mail settings... Wait, what's this? The timeout setting controls how long a computer terminal stays connected to the network without disconnecting from the server, which is this. The default setting immediate requires a new connection each time the user attempts to log into the network. Wait, are you telling me I don't have to wait for dial-up anymore? Like 1 month in-game, we could make it last several in-game days. I'm just gonna make this 1 month, if you don't mind. Who set it to immediate, honestly? No one wants that. I guess they run a very tight ship, or something. The admins here. It's just good practice, right? Lock your station when you walk away from it. Well, not under Simon's watch. Changing of the guard. And electronic mail settings. Oh, we can just access mail from any other place, I guess. And turn off access to the office. No, we're not doing that. And check connection offsite. Inbound, outbound connections and electronic mail communications outside of the local network have been temporarily disabled. Nothing we can do here. Does turning this on avail us in any way? Hang on, let me check this again. The one about the mail. Yeah, the long deleted log section. The new admin key. Yeah, the inboxes have been archived, so... I see, okay, so... Yeah, now I'm remembering, we only ever saw the email from the office terminal. What I mean is that... I thought when we accessed the office terminal, we were seeing the email for everyone, in that, for some weird reason, that only the email from the entire system could be seen from the office. Like if someone from the lab wanted to see their email, they'd have to do it from the office or something. But that wasn't the case. I think this means we can now see emails in all of those other places. Great. Emails that were previously missing. Okay, a couple of other things we want to check first. I'll try this quickly. I should have gone the other way. Is this any different? I can't imagine it is. They're both just admins. Yeah, can't be. Okay, one last thing to try. Would the owner of the estate be an admin? Sinclair. Should have gone the other way. H.S. Herbert, right. He's not an admin. I guess that makes sense. And it deleted that. That's fine. What about me? I know my name. I know Simon's name. Surely you added me to the network, right? In preparation? And S. Jones. No, come on. Alright. There's one other thing that I would guess. But I'm not going to do it. Because I can't exactly remember anything. Wait, let me check my photos in case I do have it. So what I was saying earlier about all of those deleted logs, which I assume would have been from when those thieves were holding up in the train station or whatever, aided and abetted by the Baron himself. If one of them was given admin access, I would assume it would be Simon's mom, right? I don't remember if we ever saw Simon's mom's first name, but we could probably assume that she's also Jones, right? Just that her first name would be the last letter that we need. Except, no, that's not how that works. Right, I was gonna say that we could have tried to brute force J-O-N-E and then every other letter in the English alphabet for the first name, other than S, which we just tried, and that would let us try to log in as Simon's mom, whatever her first name could be. But that wouldn't work because the admin logs explicitly tell us the name doesn't fit their typical links formatting. Could it be like Jones and then her actual first name, or the first letter of her first name, so it'd be 5 letters instead of 4? Or rather, a total of 6 letters, 5 letters from the last name and 1 from the first name? Or could the name be like shorter, and that's why it doesn't fit? Because if you had a last name that only had 3 letters or something, or like a 2-letter last name like Wu or whatever, then you can't exactly just add letters to fit the format. You would just have it like be short. That seems like a more reasonable reason. I don't know anything about that though. I don't know any names like that. I can't remember. Don't ask me. Okay. Let's stand over here because this is probably going to be the thumbnail, since I spent so long just staring at the computer. Okay, that's probably it for the thumbnail, right? Maybe if we stand a bit further back, just in case. This is probably good enough. It communicates enough, I think. Still don't know what this thing is. I mean, obviously it's a small data microchip. Don't know what we do with it though. We've never seen anything that could plug in like this, anywhere else other than what we're looking at right now. I think the only thing it tells us is that we can find something else that goes in here. Don't know anything about that yet. Well, we got some emails ready, so guess we'll find a computer. We're doing it. We're hacking. I got a lot of money last episode, but couldn't quite spawn in the gift shop or something else I could spend my money on. I could have gotten like 3 trophies if I rolled the showroom, the one that sells all the stuff, and bought everything out in it, even if I wasn't going to use it immediately. I guess we'll start our actual day now. If we get the tomb, I'll probably open that one up first. We don't. Schoolhouse is fine, I guess. Let's do the shelter, though. Because we're doing computers now. Right, we get this for free, too. So let's log in here. Our old password. Oh, wait. No, we put in the password at this point. And we go through dial-up. It's kind of funny they make you go through this every time, but this whole time, apparently there was a feature that let us skip dial-up, if I'm understanding this correctly. Yeah. We skip dial-up now. I can't believe it. I mean, I like it. I'm glad we don't have to deal with it anymore, but what a weird upgrade to get in this roguelike, whatever. The upgrade that lets you skip dial-up. Okay, so first thing we want to do is the email. There's more. I don't think we've seen this before. Yep, 28th, 1987. Stay put. It's finally happening. We just got confirmation from our source that the Red Guard is coming tomorrow to begin their formal inquiry into the disappearance. Yeah, the inquiry into the disappearance of the crown. At this point, it's going to be too risky to move you until next week at the earliest. Just hang tight for now. Alright, back to it. Looks like... oh wait, we're going in reverse order. I guess we should start from the bottom. This one's from more... February 22nd, a few days before that last email. About the mail, I guess. That's what this first one's about. February 22. Yes, and don't worry, this communication method is fully secure. Not anymore. We cracked it wide open. But we won't tell. I'm the only lab technician with network access, currently, at the time of writing. And the only one who uses this terminal. I'm working to get you some more supplies. But I'm not focusing on essentials as I believe there's enough food in the shelter to last for the duration. Though I think it'd be wise if you can do a quick inventory to confirm that. So I guess they were both using this shelter and also the other location near the train station, both shelters. Maybe they had to move from one to the other for some reason. I guess the one near the train station is a bit more secure, given that it could be flooded and all. And this one was 2 more regarding the situation, but who sent it? No sender, no signature. Just that it was from this station. About the situation. In terms of area, there's not nearly as much room here as I remembered from my use. Okay, that's probably Mom. If it was just me, I wouldn't mind, but with 4 of us here, four of us and the space we are going to need for planning, I don't think this is to be a sustainable situation for more than a week. A fortnight at best. Yeah, so they moved over to the station. Got it. I thought it was 3 for some reason. I think I thought that because there were 3 people in the photo in the train station. But maybe there was like one more. Maybe the person who took the photo. I don't know. February 25th, regarding the situation from Moore. I passed the message on and your uncle, you gave it away, your uncle, says he may have an idea for a more long-term solution. You should have used a code name, like, I don't know, the HSS something or other, like a boat or something. I guess the initials are a giveaway, but you could have a code name and your code name would be a boat. The HSS Anne or something, I don't know. I'm just thinking of the SS Anne from Pokemon, but I'm realizing Anne is also the name of Anne Babbage, so that code name would just be kind of confusing. Anyway. I'm not sure exactly what he has in mind, but this morning when I looked at today's blueprints, I saw he had drafted the pump room, a floor plan I haven't seen used in a very, very long time. I have a feeling you all may be taking a boat ride shortly. Okay, yeah. And this is like our in-lore hint for how to get down there. Where they went to, I guess. But we already knew. And then they stayed put, and then they didn't. They stayed put inside the shelter, I guess the Red Guard left, and then they went into the train station, and then they left. Alright, one more thing. Well, actually, is there any... Do we care about any of this? I don't think so. Yeah, all of this is, not important, right? Oh, special orders. You know, I forgot about this. Gum or fruit? You know, this would have been very helpful if I actually remembered this word. We want the candle tool again, right? So we need the magnifying glass and the metal detector? No. The compass? What was it again? What did we combine for? What even would have combined to make the laser? I think it was probably the compass and the glass, right? Well, just in case we can get the glass, since we know it was definitely that. And just hoping that it was something else that we can get. Well, the glass is easier to get, right, if we trade for it in the trading post? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna look this up because I already did this. I already made this tool, I should remember it. Blueprints candle. And the item that lights it would be... Yep, magnifying glass and metal detector. I think both of those are pretty common to come by, but I think the magnifying glass is of lower rarity, lower cost than the metal detector. So we want that to definitely spawn, and we can maybe get the magnifying glass by trading at a trading post or something. There. Okay. I gotta remember this function exists. So, what else do we want here? I'm just remembering some of these things that I usually gloss over. Damn. Go back. Luckily we don't have to go through dial-up, so yeah, I needed to do remote terminal access. That's what I was looking for, and then last thing we're going to do is remote into the lab and start an experiment. Since we have the radiation here and whatever, we can unlock all the doors if we need to. Oh, and we can also look at email, I guess, after this. So what are our things? Gold, stars, and... Well, this is gold and this one's allowance. I think we want to go for allowance if we're starting out the day with experiments. Each bedroom after our second. Each time you find trash while digging, we'd have to get a shovel. When you draft a red room, lose 5 steps and then... This one isn't the worst one in the world. It's only 5 steps for every red room, and we can get a lot of red rooms if we get the furnace room, plus the red rooms just kind of spawn more frequently than other rooms, I think. And if we want to get our steps back, we can try, but it's not the worst thing in the world if we run out of steps raising our allowance. Plus we have more steps today thanks to the sauna, so it seems like a good deal. I think this is better than bedrooms, because it just activates immediately, even if we do lose steps. Yeah. More allowance. And now our network. Go to mail. No, wait, hang on. Okay, I get it. We're not logging into the network from the remote station from the lab. We're logging back to the network from the first place we connected to the network from. Which does mean we're going to have to actually get to the other rooms manually to read their email. Well, that's fine. Those rooms just kind of happen naturally. And they do have other uses, I guess. Alright, are we ready to begin our actual day now? And the shelter does protect us from the effects of red rooms, so activating the red rooms is not going to be a problem for their usual debuffs. Just give us this now. I don't really care. Actually, let's go down the middle. If we're heading straight towards rank 8. Let's just try that for once. Corridor. This strategy is maybe bad because we don't have the resources needed to get all the way to the back, I guess. Disable the chapel's effect. We do lose our steps for doing that, but we do disable the effect here, and yeah, the candles stay lit, which is great. Although this does mean we don't add to our piggy bank today, which is maybe bad if we want to cash in all of our coins for some reason. Send us to the hallway. I'll come back for you later. If we run into like a locked room, this is immediately going to be a problem for us, isn't it? We don't have like mechanical rooms yet. We could just make the passageway. It's kind of early for this, but why not? Sorry, guy that says never draft the passageway until very late in the day, we're not doing that. That was one of the tips in the magazine. I mean, I don't have to pass up the wine cellar. We can get some gems back, I guess. Why not? Just because we're going north doesn't mean we have to pass up a rare room. And this is a rare room, an unusual one. Alright, continuing north if we can. Well, this would get us to the foundation if we re-rolled. We're kind of dead in the water if we run into a locked door, though. That's why you draft the early rooms first, so you can get resources like keys. Okay, yeah, give us the gift shop. I guess this works for us, and we can also, like, buy things if we end up with a lot of money again. So what didn't we buy last time? Coming soon. I think this actual update is coming soon. Oh, and right, we do need trophies to get this thing in the first place. I guess we're making our way to getting this eventually. What does this do, though? This addition to the campsite? There's like no thought in it here in the permanent additions. So what kind of upgrade could it be? It might just be for show, like this t-shirt. Anyway, this is the main thing we want to buy, 110. We could have bought it last time if I actually rolled the gift shop, but I didn't. Alright, so we're here now. Let's continue down the middle, I think. Try to go north. Unless you're locked. Not yet. Not locked yet. I do want the dining room, but we have to do this. We're just going to rank 8 immediately. No, we're not. We gotta get some keys. And thus my strategy fails, as expected. Let's just try opening some doors, the nearest doors available. I'm calling it the nearest doors available while making our way directly towards rank 8, as much as we can while also going to the nearest non-locked doors available strategy. Which is not a very good strategy. Oh hey, a locksmith. Alright, let's buy some keys. Never mind, the strategy is sound. Give me 3 keys. And give me a special key. Can't skip this. A silver key, pretty good for many doors. And give me the lockpick kit, because I'm crazy like that. I guess we're not buying the Darebird today, unless I somehow come across 108 coins, and don't spend my coins on anything else. Do I need more keys in this? No, I have 4 keys, including the silver one. We're just going to rank 8. Don't worry about it. The lockpick worked. Alright, give me the dining room. And we're having lunch. After all of our hacking, I'm surprised we still managed to have lunch today. It almost felt like we were spending the entire day on the computer without eating anything. Certainly, no one ever does that, right? That's a bad habit to have, Simon. Make sure you don't have that. Surely the lockpick kit works. No, it doesn't. Well, surely this door is unlocked. Oh, is that a gem? I almost walked right past it. It's locked, but surely the lockpick kit works. It did. Okay, fine. We'll spawn in the casino. But I'm not happy about it. It just goes in the direction we want. 3 coins though. We're not gambling. Just to be sure though. The most we can get from this is 4 allowance or hundreds of coins, which would net us the swimbird, but we'd have to get 100 coins to gamble here in the first place, and then we're just 10 coins away from getting the swimbird anyway. Oh, but then we could get 2 free spins and get 8 allowance. Or 600 coins. Wow. Yeah, not today. Okay, fine. Is it time for like a special key? I guess we could do it. Why not? The silver key. Yeah, we can disable the effect here. This is like a really good one to use the shelter on. Although I'm sad to pass up the conference room. Maybe another time. We just need red rooms today. Alright, there's that. And yeah, I did also look up the places I can use my hammer on, the power hammer or whatever. So if we do get the coat check, we could use it on this, I guess. This thing, which never had a prompt on it, but I guess looking at it, does look like you could knock it down. I looked up all the locations that I could knock down walls for, because I'm sure I walked by a lot of these brick walls and didn't even take note of them because they didn't have prompts on them. So rather than review all of my footage or start looking for all of these brick walls, I'm just going to assume that I passed by them and use the information that I looked up to save myself the trouble. We're continuing 1 rank to the north, I guess. That doesn't work. Alright, how about this door? Doesn't work. Well, if we have to choose, I guess we'll unlock this door. More chances, right? Commissary goes where we want. And if we want to buy items, maybe there's something useful here. They've got the shovel, sleeping mask, metal detector, and the salt shaker. I bought the metal detector, keys and coins. And also helps us catch anything that we might have missed, I guess. I guess we can afford the shovel too. There's no point in not buying this. I guess the point in not buying this would be so we could gamble in the casino. Well, we're not doing that. Oh, great. Well, we're going the other way then. Without having accessed the security room, there should be around 3 or 4 of these doors, and we've seen 2 already. East Wing Hall. Gotta be this. I would like to see the music room, but unfortunately not now. Oh, there's some coins already. I'd prefer some keys at this rate. Let's just see if we can unlock this. Good, it worked. We're gonna go for the library, because we've been kinda shafting it for a while, and this'll be our rank 8. We get a promotion. I specifically avoided the beginning room so that I could make use of this one here, since that gives us more rerolls on every corner room. But I think we would actually prefer the horse today, so that we can try to get that armory. Maybe we can get more coins before the day ends and buy one of those fancy items that I looked up. We haven't seen the armory yet, but I know the basic gist of how it works. And of course we also get the book here. This would be the last book that we haven't read yet. Looks like Anne Babbage read it, Lord Evanson, M. Lowry, and us today, December 5th. Although, could we use this to find the name that we need to... the name we need to use to log into the network for the archive stuff, or whatever? Wonder. Could we find Mom's name in this? I think we did see Mom's name, like, in one of these book things. Again, I don't remember. I'm sure I could scrub through my footage, but probably best not to. A Sightseer's Guide to Reddington, a modest account of our town by Sir Andrew Darrell. Introduction. The 3rd largest city in Fen Ares, and site of its former capital, Reddington, is synonymous with mountains, mystery, and magic. Most tourists head straight for the boardwalk. Oh, it's next to the ocean, I didn't realize. And don't get much further than the botanical gardens. However, Reddington has much more to offer. Spectacular scenery, a historic castle, and a charming underground bazaar reward visitors who wish to explore further. It does sound pretty magical. A castle and an underground bazaar? Wow. Reddington is that type of unique, enchanting place that lingers in your mind and memories long after you leave her. And we can't visit her, because we're just in this house all day. The Botanical Gardens. Reddington's most popular attraction, and a guaranteed crowd pleaser. The Botanical Gardens is loved by both locals and visitors for its Ageran canopy house and mausoleum, its petal-covered trails and mind-boggling variety of flowers. This is the reason springtime is Reddington's busy season. I don't remember if we saw Agera before or whatever. I'm just going to take a picture in case any of this is important. Situated just east of the town, the Botanical Gardens offer a scenic and captivating tableau of the natural countryside. A cobblestone trail meanders past over 1,000 species of tropical plants, each remarkable in its own right, yet even more stunning set against the spectacular backdrop of the Reddington Mountains. Allow yourself at least an hour to indulge in this picturesque walk, which concludes at Mainway Station. Right, another train station, I guess. Helix X Messerve, a specimen of holly unique to Reddington's mountains. Right, Mount Holly. Featherfall Keep, the mountain they mentioned, or the castle they mentioned. You will find sitting at the base of Mount Perma, Reddington's second highest summit, a historic site described by scholars as significantly important to the realm's past. Featherfall Keep, the former home of Lord William Epson, okay, part of the family, has until recently always been a private residence, serving as a family home to the Epsons before the Third Era. After the deaths of Lord Epson, his oldest son, Lionel Epson, left the estate never to return. However, the daughter stayed, maintaining the residence and its staff until her marriage in 1951. That's a date, right? Because she married Herbert S. Sinclair. If I'm having the genealogy right or whatever, I'm going to take a picture of that. If the Baron decided all of the safe codes and the safe codes are dates, the year that he married his wife probably would make sense. At that point, Featherfall Keep ceased to be a family residence. It began operating as a historic house museum and tourist attraction, and the estate was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1972. It is still believed by many that Featherfall was built by the first king of Arinda, Ares, when Reddington was still the capital. However, surface documents containing conflicting dates have recently cast some doubt on the long-standing myths. More like revised history. Probably, if I have the actual lore of the game correct. Oh right, I guess the boardwalk wouldn't have to be on the ocean. I guess it's by the lake. Okay. Trinsdale Lake. Close your eyes and imagine tranquil, serene stillness. Rolling fogs, clear water, and gliding swans. Ah, that's the sigil of the Epsons, I guess. Makes sense. In the midst of all that beauty sits Trinsdale Lake, one of Fen Airy's premier vacation destinations, exclusive for its more privileged citizens. The lakeside resort and cabins have been frequented by royalty and the realm's gentry for generations. However, on the southern shore of the lake, tourists are free to enjoy the views and rub elbows with the rich and famous in the 100 Bells Tea Room, which is open to the general public for lunch on Mondays and Fridays. Ritzy. Mount Holly, the iconic mountain that's always lingering in the background. At an elevation of 11,220 feet, Mount Holly is the tallest mountain in the Reddington Range, and the highest peak in the entire realm. Beyond the physical challenge itself, climbing Mount Holly Trail is a beautiful experience, and one that many hikers and explorers will want to do at least once. Maybe someday, Simon. It's only a few hours from Reddington to get to the trailhead, and you won't need any local guides or special gear if you tackle the trail during the summer season. However, those willing to give this mountain a significant amount of planning and research will be greatly rewarded, whether or not they actually summit. Is this like a euphemism for the game, playing the game? I don't know. On the opposite side of the peak, far from the trail, rests the estate of Mount Holly. Yep, that's where we are. Nestled between the summit's northern slope and saddle. This 80-acre mountain residence is almost as old as Reddington itself. However, unlike Featherfall Keep, the property has been completely private since the closing of Mount Holly Schoolhouse in '66. I'll just take a picture of that date just in case as well. In case there's like some kind of safe related to the schoolhouse or something, I don't know. Still, hikers will be able to appreciate the house's unique architecture, yeah, that's a word for it, at a distance from one of the trail's many north-facing overlooks. The Mainway Station Bazaar, this underground bazaar, which I guess is also part of the train station. For the sentimental tourist wishing to pick up a souvenir to remember their stay, one might try braving the Mainway Station Bazaar, but don't be too hasty. Without proper guidance, the mainway station can be a dangerous place. Located underground, this unique marketplace was once Reddington's central railway station, in a time when the realm's trains were still in service. Now the turnstiles, footbridge, and platform have been appropriated and turned into a cavern of tents and torches. Whether you are bargain hunting, looking for adventure, or finding a memento to commemorate your visit, the Mainway Station Bazaar will be a worthy conclusion to your sightseeing adventure in Reddington. Seems like it's connected to our own station, right? Because that's how train stations work, obviously. And here's a map of the region. Do we want a picture of this? Maybe. I like maps. I just kind of like them, so I'm glad this is here. It kind of puts things into perspective a bit. Not that it really matters, but it's fun to see maps sometimes. That's all. Anyway, that's the episode. Went a little bit over time just to finish reading the guide, but I think we did a lot this episode. Kind of. We made it to rank 8. That's not really the most important thing, though. The most important is that we understand Blackbridge a little bit more, plus we have some more emails we need to read. And I think we'll probably get to them in the next episode. For now, though, it'd be a good chance to take a break.